Hey everybody, good to see you. I am really excited. Dr. Jeff Anzalone and I, we met about a year ago. I'm really excited to share with you. Dr. Jeff Anzalone has got a fantastic story. As many of you know out there, he's a practice owner, a dentist. We have a lot of dentists in our community, and I think that how Jeff kind of stumbled into investing in passive income and his story really resonates with a lot of our audience out there. So, Jeff, first of all, thank you for taking your time and coming out of the event.
Absolutely.
If you just tell a little bit about how your story and about how you kind of got into investing in commercial real estate and why.
I think that's the biggest thing is why. As a practice owner, I've been practicing for about 10 years. I'll follow the Dave Ramsey route,
Yes.
pay off all your debt, and I was just following his plan. And I was thinking, like most dentists, you work for 30 or 40 years and life goes on. Well, after 10 years, we had a snow skiing. My kids like snow ski. We went up on the lift. One of the, not my kid, but one of the kids in a ski school, they broke off and they cut in front of me, which I swerved. And when I fell, I injured my wrist. Luckily, it wasn't anything major, but that was like my wake-up call. I'm living on the edge. I'm literally skating on thin ice.
How long were you injured, by the way?
It was during that thing, probably a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
It was long enough for me to realize that if I can't use my hands, I'm screwed.
What do you do with your family, right? If something really happened.
I do have disability insurance, but with being a dentist and having to rely on dental insurance, that's like the worst companies to deal with money and stuff. So I didn't want to rely on an insurance company paying me the rest of my life if
Yeah, of
something
course.
happened. So I started, just my personality, I just started a deep dive to learn not so much dentists, but what do like wealthy people do? And I can really condense everything into two facts that I found out. Number one, they own real estate. Back then, Jeff didn't own any, except my house, but it wasn't paying me anything. And then number two, they all had multiple income streams, average of 7 to 9. Back then I had one. So that really helped me narrow my focus
Right.
on I needed to invest in real estate for multiple income streams. Not to go out and buy Lambos and yachts.
Yep.
It was just for financial security.
Yep. So, how long ago was that?
50, so that was 10 years ago.
10 years ago. And when you had that wake up call, you learned how to do it on your own, pretty much. What does your portfolio now? So, you've worked all your life, become a professional dentist, traded all that time, got some money. What does your portfolio look like now?
Yeah, I started off in apartment syndications. I started, and I said, you know what? I'm learning all this stuff that I know other dentists and doctors need to learn because
Yep.
nobody was teaching us, like what's a cap rate?
Yep.
What's IRR? What are all these terms, these three-letter terms? So and I started a blog, debtfreedoctor.com, and all I was doing was just putting information out. I did that for 2 years as I'm learning. Finally, bit the bullet, did my first apartment syndication
On your own.
on my own.
Fantastic.
On my own, and I remember it was $333.33. It paid me every month, and I said, "Well, this is cool because I didn't have to go treat a patient.
Yeah.
I got money in my pocket to pay bills."
Yeah.
So then I did another one, and then it just kind of snowballed. So I started off in multifamily, moved to self storage. Well, let me back up. So during the multifamily, this group that in Dallas that I was going to be investing with, they said, Jeff, you have this little following of people on your blog. If we do all the legal stuff, do you think that they would want to invest alongside of you? I mean, I can see. I'm going to invest anyway.
Absolutely,
So I said,
sure.
So they would send out an email about a deal. So I sent out that email. I kind of changed it to make it sound like it came from me. 48 hours, I did another one. Then they called me up and they said, okay, you don't have to send out any more emails because based on the emails that they're sending out to their investors, plus the ones that I sent out, it was like 200 people on the list. We've raised enough money. I said, well, how long have you been doing this? I said, what are you talking about? Raising capital. I was like, what is that? It's like, you just raised 2.4 million in 48 hours. I was like,
Wow.
what?
Wow.
So that's how I got into the capital raising part of this. And then I did some self-storage, short-term rentals, and now we're RV parks and mobile home parks. So that's kind of my whole journey. We own 25 RV parks with that group, and then me and another guy own eight mobile home parks in Louisiana. So
Hallelujah.
it's crazy. Once you get out of your your normal network and get into events like these and other events where people are there and they want to grow, they want to share, sky's the limit.
You made me think, our audience members, when a lot of practice owners, dentists, when they come to us, they say, I want to invest. I think I want to invest in commercial real estate. I'm in single family. I might have a syndication. I want to invest in commercial real estate. And my questioning goes a little bit like this often. Why do you want to invest in commercial real estate? And they'll go, well, I want a higher ROI. And I say, what's that going to give you? And they're going to go, I'll have more money in my account. And I say, what's that going to give you? And they're like, I'll be less stressed. I said, what's that going to give you? And he says, well, if I've got more money in my account, I'm less stressed. What it usually comes down to is I don't want to be tied to the chair for the next 20 years. I want to be able to get out early. I hear that. And I said, what's that going to give you? And they're like, I want to travel. I want to spend more time with my family. And that's what I honestly look at real estate investments. It's people aren't necessarily looking for a real estate investment. They're looking for what it can ultimately give them with those returns. And so like you found it with getting hurt and you have passive income. What I also find that I'd like to talk to you about, we talked a little bit about earlier, is a lot of professionals out there, a lot of practice owners, they're extremely smart. They went to college, they've traded a lot of time for money, and they want to use that money to get back time. But they'll come to your YouTubes, they'll come to our webinars, they'll go to a lot and they'll get a lot of information, and they've got the capital, but they don't move forward. And it usually comes down, honestly, to analysis through paralysis. And I think there's a lot of fear to make a costly mistake. What, from somebody who went there and kind of said, hey, I need to do something different. So with the professionals that they're in your community, they're in the real estate investment community, they're learning, but they don't move forward. You see them sometimes a year later or even longer. Frankly, what advice would you say to them?
Piss or get off the porch sometimes.
Straight to the point.
Yeah. But sometimes they need. I've had two people come up to me and they said they just came up to me straight up and they just said, Jeff, thank you. I was like, for what? It's like, you gave me the kick in the butt I needed. And so in a lot of my videos I talk about just what you're talking about, because as a dentist or doctor, people can understand this. The patient comes in and they need treatment and you give them 5 treatment plans, they're confused.
Right.
They're like, oh my God, okay, should I do this or this or this? What does a confused patient, a confused consumer, confused whatever do?
Nothing. Yep.
They leave. And that's what I'm seeing. There's so many options out there. There's so many asset classes, syndicators, groups to go with, and they're just overwhelmed. And it's funny, I've told a couple this time, I said, dental school is 4 years, and we're so analytical, and we always want to learn everything. I really think that there wasn't a dental school graduation date, we'd all still be in dental school. We just want to keep learning and learning,
Yeah.
And it's just the same. They get out, and it's like, okay, well, there's no real estate graduation date, and it's just like a free-for-all. And I just think that there's just so much information.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I said, and I'll tell people out there, and I just told a couple right before we came in. 2 years ago, they came up to me and same thing. They were talking about all this stuff. I said, have y'all invested yet? And they're like, no. I'm like, why not? Well, we're still looking. It's like, this might not be for you. Maybe stick with the 401k. I said, it's not for everybody. Well, yeah, it's like, no, there's no,
No, they're trying to talk you into why it is for them, but they still haven't done it. Yeah.
They still haven't done it. And you talked about having a why. And in Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, even though it was written back in 1937, when he interviewed those millionaires who are now billionaires, it's something called the success pyramid. And the one ingredient, the first ingredient they all had, was they had not just a desire, but like a white hot burning desire. You have to have that. Like,
yeah, I agree.
I screwed up my wrist. I didn't care if I invested in real estate or what, and failed, and I've lost money. I wasn't going to stop. That was my why.
Absolutely.
And just like people that are overweight, they eat too much at Christmas, they join the gym in February, they're not in the gym anymore because they don't have a big why. But you don't see somebody for like years and you come up to them and like, I didn't recognize you lost like 200 pounds. What happened? Had a heart attack.
Yep.
My doctor said I'm going to die. So they had that strong why. And I think that's the main ingredient. You have to.
Absolutely.
And it comes down to that. So I think that's the main thing holding people back.
Science teaches, you just reminded me, we're going to go off on a little bit of interesting subject here, but science teaches us, learned this a long time ago. There's 6 key emotional drivers for 95% of every decision that we make. Okay, that's the CEO of a company, that's you as a dentist, that's you as a parent, your child. And it's really the why. What is the driver? Some people work for certainty and security, significance. Some people love and connection. There's different reasons why we do what we do. And if you can just identify why you want to invest, okay, why? What is it going to give you? Yes, investing is scary. You can lose. Yes, you can. But why do you want to do it? So, for those watching, we're here at the Reed
Real estate investing for dentists.
Real Estate Investing for Dentists. We spoke for an hour here. There's a lot of people, they learn how to invest. We were asked to teach commercial real estate, but one of the things that I said to them, and I'll say to the audience out here is, okay, if you have the desire, now you have the desire. I said this to Jeff right when we were talking a little bit. I said, if I need a root canal, I'm not going to learn how to, I don't want to learn how to go and do it. It's going to take me time, it's going to be painful, right? Or I can go to professional. And what I really want to say, and what I said to the audience out there, if you do have that desire and you know your why, there's trusted resources. You've got Dr. Jeff here. Jeff has got syndications. He's got mobile home parks. Can they invest in?
That and RV.
RV parks. Mm-hmm. You can start with a little bit, and I say find your tribe. Here with Dr. Roshan Kaura, Nathan Ho, for those who are part of their dental community. They're fantastic people, and their network are fantastic people. You can go to Roshan, you can go to Jeff, and you can ask them about a network. Find trusted professionals, and you can get it done. You can do it without knowing everything.
Speaking of networking, there was a guy, a dentist, that reached out to me last year after this event who had invested with you. He's located in the Northwest. Okay, he's in the Northwest, and he said, "Yeah, I'm in this Facebook group.
Yeah, sure,
I'm in this Facebook group, and I see you're from Louisiana.
Yeah,
I invested in Church's Chicken in North Louisiana." I said, "Really? Where at?" He said, "Monroe, Louisiana." I said, "That's where I live." I said, "Is it the one?" And I gave the address. I said, "That's like 3 blocks from my office." I said, "You are kidding me."
Wow.
It's just a small world. So anytime I go by there, I take a picture of all the cars in the drive-through. It's the power of connection and getting out of just going to the normal dental meetings or doctor meetings or whatever, because they're there just to get their hours and that's it. But you come to an event like this, we're here to grow, and we're here to learn, connect with other people, and the sky's the limit.
Sky's the limit. So anyway, I just want to thank you for taking your time here. And for those out there that don't know Custom Capital, we are 100% whole ownership, and we've got 35 professionals, and basically we have pre-vetted deals under contract, absolute triple net, long-term lease, corporate guarantees. That's kind of our model, very safe, mitigate the risk. They're turnkey, they cash flow month one. But more importantly, for those who may be interested in commercial real estate, the service that we offer, we just do everything for you. Everything, walk you through the whole entire process, get you finance, due diligence, boots on the ground, and provide a turnkey, cash flowing, absolute triple net. And we're there to help you get in, we're there to help you during, and if you ever want to exit, our private family office, commercial real estate division is there. And we're a resource, and we can be a resource. If you have any questions, you're welcome to reach out. We don't have syndications. I recommend Jeff for syndications. He's got a sterling reputation for those who know him. For those who don't, I'm telling you, there are resources out there, but I think at the end of the day, like Jeff said, if you want to get in the game, you got to get off the pot, and you might not know everything, but find your network, find the right people, but get started, and get started small. You get started small. It builds confidence. You don't have to start with the big one. You have to start with commercial real estate, but get started. So anyway, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks for having
Appreciate
me.
it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.